Welcome to Matters Financial, Geopolitical from the Frontier. Trust you had a great weekend. It's been wet. The rain was desperately needed, so everybody's very happy, I think. I like these photographs. Firstly, the mentalist, the morning after a view of Mt.Kenya. And this one by David Yarrow, taken one early morning this week in the Masai Mara. She really is quite beautiful, so smart, alert, regal, and so totally unfazed by me. The Euro rally proves short-lived as Macron victory is already priced in. We topped 110. Where are we right now? 109.87 last. I'm bullish about the euro, but I think today we could see a little bit of a drawdown. He was wrapped in flames. Photographer R. Schmidt recalls the man set ablaze this week in Caracas. And then take a look at this. This is the crude oil price. This is West Texas Intermediate. Last trading at 47.08. Dipped briefly below 44. And my piece over the weekend is commodity markets and a crude oil price target of $32 a barrel. The Bloomberg Commodity Index is composed as follows. Energy is 30.57%, grains 23.46%, industrial metals 17.39%, precious metals 15.29%, softs, which is coffee, sugar, and cotton, 7.22%, livestock 6.07%. Closed Friday at 82.67, just 9.733% above a 5-year low struck in January 2015. The index is minus 5.53% in 2017. The commodity complex is not monolithic, it's multi-sided. Crude oil and gold are the big headline grabbers, and I will return to crude oil momentarily. The breakfast commodities, think of what a good breakfast contains. Rolled over a while back, coffee and cocoa prices are at multi-year lows. The high-flying Côte d'Ivoire has already dialed up Christine Lagarde at the IMF. Interestingly, here in Kenya, with food inflation at an eye-popping 21% year-on-year, we have seen the prices of our basic breakfast commodities squeeze higher. Internationally, sugar prices are at 2-year lows, but here we are at an all-time high. This anomaly is something we should be discussing, but I'm not afforded the space to do that in today's article. Those sugar licenses are, however, worth their weight in gold. Avocados, which are not in the commodity basket, have found an off-ramp and are at all-time highs. Kikuzi, which is listed at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, has a market capitalization of $55 million, grows a lot of avocados, by the way. Anyway, I've digressed and want to turn to crude oil, which is the big beast in the commodity complex, the elephant in the room, as it were. Crude oil prices have plunged 13% in 3 weeks, and WTI crude oil traded Friday morning below $44 a barrel. It's currently trading at $47.06. It closed on Friday at $46.22, so you can see we had a big bounce off the lows. This is, however, $46.22, a 1-year low. This is a far cry from the go-go days, Nicolas Maduro's Venezuela's at breaking point. Other capitals are going to run out of options. I've previously spoken about how the US shale cowboys have OPEC over a proverbial barrel. Shale can turn the tap on faster than OPEC can turn it off. The US oil rig count has more than doubled from a year ago to 703 last week, according to Baker Hughes. Nationwide crude production rose to 9.29 million barrels a day last week, the highest level since August 2015, according to the Energy Information Administration. The OPEC go-go days of Sheikh Yamani, his prayer beads and Delphic pronouncements belonged to yesteryear. Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, the current OPEC Secretary General, is a poor imitation of Yamani and is playing with a set of cards that is stacked against him. Reserves have been depleted from Abuja to Riyadh, from Luanda to Caracas, and in all the oil-producing capitals in the world, so many capitals are fiddling while sitting on a tinderbox and playing with matches. The Deputy Crown Prince was quoted on Al Arabiya about Iran. How can I communicate with them while they prepare for the arrival of Al-Mahdi al-Muntazar? This is deluded thinking at a time when things can seriously fall apart. That took me to one of my favourite poems, Turning and Turning in the Widening Gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer, things fall apart, the centre cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world, the blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned, the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand, surely the second coming is at hand. W.B. Yeats. On Friday, about $7 million worth of options changed hands that will pay off if WTI crude falls beneath $39 a barrel by mid-July. According to data compiled by Bloomberg, options trading can be a little like buying a ticket to the lottery. But the point is, we need to be modelling what a $39 a barrel price will look and feel like. We have experienced a precipitous downside move, and in my opinion, the exponential recent momentum is signalling there is further to go. My price target is $32 a barrel. Crude oil prices in extremis move exponentially. The move has all the ingredients for turning exponential. Some thought they'd found a floor Friday, but I expect them to be rudely awakened. It's a Wizard of Oz moment, folks. There is no one behind the curtain. The market is primed to crash. Ironically, August 2015, the market was also on a bear run. And then I said the end is nigh for crude oil and oil producers. But I think they got a respite, but that respite is going to prove to be short-lived. And I was describing how I used to be a boarder at Westminster School, and I used to like wandering the streets of central London on the weekend in my typical circuit. Would pass by 10 Downing Street, Trafalgar Square, St James's and Green Parks, and I would oftentimes end up at Speaker's Corner, Hyde Park. Speaker's Corner was a place where anyone could stand up and speak about anything they chose. I am talking about a period when the Ayatollah Khomeini was upending the peacock throne, when Mrs. Thatcher was upending the Labour Party, and Blondie was top of the charts. It was like a Paul Auster novel. I would see him in Trafalgar Square. Then he might pop up at Speaker's Corner, and once even in the cloisters of Westminster Abbey. This kind of thing can unhinge a teenager, I said. Zero Hedge has an interesting quote from Eric Peters on oil bulls. Take a look at it. Home thoughts, I like this. Good morning blog. Auf Kreuzfahrt im Indischen Ozean. It's a very nice photograph of somebody in the Indian Ocean. A record number of climbers are attempting to scale Everest this season. This photograph caught my attention. Rodeo by Joseph Tang. Political reflections Big news out of France, Emmanuel Macron, je vous servirai au nom de notre devise, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité. Look at this photograph of François Hollande watching the TV to see the moment Emmanuel Macron cast his vote. On Twitter, somebody tweeted elections in France are Freudian. A woman who killed her father challenges a man who married his mother. Heard on the BBC. Well, it was a great victory and pretty incredible when you consider that he started without a party. The Observer, the great British Brexit robbery, how our democracy was hijacked. In June 2013, a young American postgraduate called Sophie was passing through London when she called up the boss of a firm where she'd previously interned. The company SCL Elections went on to be bought by Robert Mercer, a secretive hedge fund billionaire, renamed Cambridge Analytica and achieved a certain notoriety as the data analytics firm that played a role in both Trump and Brexit campaigns. But all of this was still to come. London in 2013 was still basking in the afterglow of the Olympics. Britain had not yet Brexited, the world had not yet turned. That was before we became the stark dystopian data company that gave the world Trump, a former Cambridge Analytica employee who I'll call Paul tells me. It was back when we were still just a psychological warfare firm. Was that really what you called it, I asked him, psychological warfare? Totally, that's what it was, psyops, psychological operations, the same methods the military use to effect mass sentiment change. It's what they mean by winning hearts and minds. We were just doing it to win elections in the kind of developing countries that don't have many rules. It's a pretty extraordinary article, well worth reading in full. There are three strands to the story: how the foundations of an authoritarian surveillance state are being laid in the US, how British democracy was subverted through a covert, far-reaching plan of coordination enabled by a US billionaire, and how we're in the midst of a massive land grab for power by billionaires via our data. Data which is being silently amassed, harvested and stored. Whoever owns this data owns the future. Goes back to my piece, we have a deviate tomahawk and US far-right activists, WikiLeaks and bots help amplify Macron leaks. And I said, from feeding the hothouse conspiracy frenzy online, a constant state of destabilized perception. Timely and judicious doses of WikiLeaks leaks which drained Hillary's bona fides and her turnout and motivated Trump's, what we have witnessed is something remarkable and noteworthy. Weiwei has written a great essay called How Censorship Works. In the space of a month in 2014, separate art exhibitions in Beijing and Shanghai that included my work, my name was blotted out. In one case by government officials and by exhibitors themselves in the other case. Some people might take such treatment in their stride, as nothing to get huffy about, but as an artist I view the labels on my work as a measure of the value I have produced. Life in China is saturated with pretense. People feign ignorance and speak in ambiguities. Everyone in China knows that a censorship system exists. This is very little discussion on why it exists. The Pope has said mother should not be used to describe a bomb. I couldn't agree with him more. The S&P rose 0.4% to close at an all-time high on Friday. Euro traded at 110 for the first time since November the 9th, but we're now trading at 109.92. Currency markets, dollar index 98.75, Japanese yen 112.76, Swiss franc 0.9900, pound 129.67, the Australian dollar, which has had a torrid week last week, 0.7414, Indian rupee 64.255, South Korean won 1130.95, the Rial 317.60, Egyptian pound 18.1284, and the Rand is at 13.50. Dollar index, I think it's beginning to fade. I'll put up a 3-month chart, and I did say that 99.50 was key, and we seem to have faded away gradually. Sterling, let me put up a 1-year chart of that. I've been bullish all the way from 120, we're now at 129.67. Buy on dips. Gold, where are we with that? 12.30. After looking as if it was going to run away to the upside, get as high as 13.50, we've faded away there as well. There is still further downside ahead, even if a dead cat bounce can be expected in the short term. Couldn't agree more, that's crude oil. My target is now $32 a barrel. He's a real contender to lead Congo if only he could get in. Moise Katumbi, the opposition leader in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is everything a presidential candidate needs: money, strong record in government, nationwide recognition, and to top it all off, a wildly popular soccer club. Yet Mr. Katumbi lacks one vital element: he cannot set foot in the country, and he has not for a year, and is threatened with arrest or worse should he try to return. President Kabila, who has run the country for 16 years and is reluctant to leave power, regards him as his greatest threat. So, Mr. Katumbi, who faces prison time for what he says are politically motivated charges against him, has been playing a drawn-out guessing game with his supporters, who are growing impatient over when exactly he plans to return. 6th of June, I said birthday boy President Joseph Kabila is constitutionally barred from running for a third term. Moise Katumbi had set out his stall, and I said was proving a formidable adversary. In fact, this is again 6th of June last year, in fact the numbers were building and Katumbi must have been thinking this just might turn into a tsunami. President Kabila, however, outwitted Katumbi by removing him from the street in the Congo entirely. Might well prove a cleverly administered technical knockout. So far, Angola's net foreign exchange reserves fell to $19.2 billion in March from $20.89 billion in February. That's a big drop. Somali's report helicopter raid near where US soldier had been killed. Foreign and Somali forces struck the base near the village of Weiwei. Hassan Yare, a police officer in the area, said Friday by phone without identifying the nationality of the international troops. The fighting occurred about 12 kilometers from the town of Bari, where the US Africa Command said the American soldier died while on an advise and assist mission with Somali government forces. We were terrified by the exchange of gunfire and explosions between the warring sides. Don't blame me for junk. This is the Treasury Minister, Gigaba. South African oil share up 5.78% this year. Dollar versus Rand around the 13.50 level. Egyptian pound at 18.1284. Office of the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari says he's going to London for a medical checkup and amid health fears. However, before that, he was there to receive the Chibok girls. Well, some of them, these dear daughters of ours, have seen the worst the world has to offer. It is now time for them to experience the best. Nigerian oil share down 2.38% this year. Ghana Stock Exchange is up 11.59% this year. In Mozambique, a person with albinism can be worth $4,000 to $75,000 US. Safaricom will report full year results later this week. I hope you can join me for my interview with Bob. It's quite a ritual, I enjoy it. Share price is up 2.61% so far this year. Kenya shilling 103.10. Nairobi all share up 1.41% year to date. NSE 20 down 1.23%. year to date. Once again, thank you for stopping by.